Good morning, guys. This is Leo. Today we're going to take a look at AMC. It's going to be a quick video. Don't have a whole lot to talk about, but there is one thing that I can kind of teach here and kind of point out from what I'm seeing on AMC. So if you saw my last video, you should know where we are basically. I think that we're in a W, right? So we get your ABC, X for a sideways double combo correction in Elliott wave theory, and then we come down for our Y. We get a real shallow C. Almost comes to the 618 extension of the A. So we know that we're roughly where we should be in relation to fib time. It's going to be these vertical lines, right? So if we come back to the prior cycle, you can see here how we started running up about midway between the golden zone and the 200%. So that's roughly where we are. But what I want to point out that I like to see, yesterday I talked about how I like to see price moving away from the EMAs. So what that looks like for me whenever you go to get a golden cross is you come up here, right? You come down and you test the EMAs, right? So we're coming down, we're testing that. Let me see if, can I add? No, I don't have the other ones on there. So we're coming down, but we're holding above, right? So it's almost like, you can kind of think of price action as like a buoy floating in water and the EMAs being analogous to the water. Then what you have is prices holding above the EMAs, right? It's just floating there, getting ready to lift off. And the EMAs here, they're almost fanning out. So they're doing something like this, right? They're kind of fanning out, which is telling me that it's getting ready to potentially launch. So kind of looking at that here, so we had another golden cross, right? So the difference, right, is that we went up, we failed to sustain above the 21 EMA, the green one. We fell below, we chopped in between. That's showing a little bit of congestion, and then it broke down. Whereas what we're doing here is we're mostly, if you look at the candle bodies, they're mostly above, right? Whereas here, it's more in between, right? Which is telling me that it's struggling. So here, it's looking more so that these are now support, and we're going to push up. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this big move we were expecting yesterday happened today, or we could just kind of gradually move up a little bit more before we launch. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Oh, Jesus, this thing keeps trying to draw on my chart when I just want the crosshair tool. There we go. So another example, let's see here. See if I can't find something. Okay, so here's a good example. Wait, where'd it go? Okay. Okay, so this is the prior run-up, right? So we get the golden cross. You notice that prices are mostly staying above the EMA. They aren't even touching the golden, the 55 EMA down here, right? They briefly do, but then they get rejected and move up. So that's another example of what they're doing there. Let me see. It really takes a little bit of time, but basically what you're looking for is you're looking for the EMAs to start kind of fanning out, making that really clean fanning out type of motion. Again, I wouldn't trade that. It's not going to be profitable most likely unless you're in an extremely inefficient market. But it would certainly, it's interesting. It's interesting to the good side. I'll put it that way. It's one of those moments where you're like, kind of like an aha, like, oh, okay, interesting. I see that, rather than something that's a little bit more concrete, as if we're looking at the algorithms or volume profile. So I don't put a whole lot of weight on it, but it certainly adds a little bit more confidence. So that's really all I wanted to talk about here. Yep, so quick video. I'm going to do one here on Tesla because it looks like we're coming up on our target. So I'll talk to y'all in a few minutes. Bye.